Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum D&D podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We have Feats to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Again, gonna be a weird episode in some ways because some of these feats are really good and some of these feats should not exist.
Yes. Feats.
Also, hello to Dark.
Yes.
And hope everybody's excited for tonight. Just a quick, it's been a rough day for a lot of people, so we're gonna try and bring a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
So that's all I really wanted to say right now, but just wanted to throw that out there, Yeah, we stopped last time with the feats in G, ending with Gunner.
Yes.
Which is a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
You may go, well, how did you cover A to G in one episode and expect to cover the rest in one episode? There's not really, we're over halfway through the page,
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of them are just like, yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yep.
So there's not much to say about it.
Speaking of which, healer!
Yeah.
You're in able position, allowing you to mend wounds quickly and get your allies back in the fight, which sounds incredible, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Good blurb.
When you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, the creature also regains 1 hit point. That's cool.
5e is not brutal enough for this to be a good feat.
No, there is a second thing here, but I
Yeah.
just want to throw out for that first one. Spare the Dying does the same thing, and that's
Yeah.
cantrip.
Yeah.
It's Spare the Dying.
And you don't have to have a healer's kit.
Right. As an action, you can spend 1 use of a healer's kit to tend a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points to it, plus additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice. The creature can't regain hit points from this feat again until it finishes a short or long rest.
Yeah. So this is only good in a no magic campaign.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
Because 1d6 plus 4 is okay.
Yeah, and low level, right?
Yeah. But healing word, cure wounds, they're all much better.
Yeah.
Plus, realistically, if somebody gets down and you need to heal, that's what potions are for. Or, hey, look, I'd rather kill that guy than give you 1d6 plus 4 HP above level 5.
Yeah.
But no magic group right now. You're playing group that's all martial. Yeah, something like this would be cool. I think the best way to fix healer is to go, hey, instead of when you use a healer's kit, when you use any form of healing, here's this bonus.
Yeah, I don't think you should need the healer's kit.
Right.
I think one of the things about being a healer is you use what you have on hand.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about the healer's kit, right? And then give them more than one. Give a roll in there for getting hit points back.
Yes.
Roll 1d6. You give them 1d6 hit points, which I know we just said that's not a lot, but on that first thing where it just brings somebody back to 1 point.
Yeah.
If you don't have to have a healer's kit, you get to roll a d6 or a d10, say.
Especially if you make it like a bonus action.
Yes.
Hey, as a bonus action, you can stabilize a creature and bring it to 1.
Yeah, that would be
That's
sick.
a very strong feat right away.
Yeah.
Then you have a cleric that's in the middle of the fight, no longer has to worry about using their turn to pick somebody up. It keeps you going.
Yeah, but you can take a healer's kit in D&D, and if you have a healer's kit, I think it takes a minute.
Right.
But you can stabilize. You can stabilize anybody. Which you bring them back to 0 and stabilize. They're not up.
Right.
And going through that. So in this aspect with this feat, it's just not giving enough for it to take up when you can pick something else, even if you're a dedicated healer.
And maybe you add in as this still that same thing of, hey, when you use a healer's kit to stabilize, you bring them to 1 because you're a healer.
Yeah.
But you also could do these other things.
Yeah.
I think it just makes it a much better feat. Because right now, as someone who's playing an off healer, I have no reason to take this feat.
Yeah.
I'm a druid. I heal with magic.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
Or a staff. I have a staff of healing. I don't need this.
In some way, it needs to be redone. At least, to where it's feasible for, let's say, a half caster. That would be something a half caster could pick up.
Right.
To buff up their stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I make good berries. I don't need to heal. You heal 1d6 plus 4 off my good berries. I make 10 of them a day. Here you go. Yeah. That's literally, I give you the max 1d6 plus 4. Just on my good berries. There you go. You can just use them. You don't have to pull them out and stuff. Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to make it better. And that's not necessarily, we're not just going to do that for every feat, but I think healer's one of those that, nobody takes healer.
Yeah.
Nobody does, because why would you?
Yeah.
Each level proficiency lets you heal more. That's a good way to do that.
Yeah, that is a good way.
This feat's a little bit better. This is heavily armored.
Yeah.
You have to be proficient with medium armor, but you train to master the use of heavy armor, and you increase your strength by 1 to a maximum of 20, and you gain proficiency with heavy armor.
Yeah.
Rangers can take this?
Yes, Ranger that anybody take, and that this is not the greatest feat, but it's a cool feat because you can kind of, I don't know, you change your class up a little bit.
Yep.
Think about the way that the way that you play.
Yep.
And like you said, a Ranger going to heavy armor.
Bards can take this.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty nuts how, like you were mentioning, the half-casters, it's pretty nuts how the half-casters can suddenly have heavy armor from this without having to take a dip.
Right.
Because otherwise they need to take a dip into Paladin or Cleric, really, to be able to do that.
Yes.
There's also the improved version, Heavy Armor Master, where you have to be proficient with heavy armor, but you can use your armor to deflect strikes that would kill others, increase your strength again by 1, and while you're wearing heavy armor, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that you take from non-magical attacks is reduced by 3. Very good. Magic's still better at higher levels, but pretty good.
Yeah, the healing kit's okay. It's just going to be it's going to be situational. It's going to depend on your campaign, how you're playing it, whether healer's kits are a thing or not.
Yeah. I like a lot about Heavy Armor Master here because hey, these attacks are reduced by 3. May not seem like a lot, but sometimes that just means you take no damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually seen that happen quite a lot. Especially it really shines when you're standing there in heavy armor and you're getting, you've got some levels underneath you, but you're getting attacked by, let's say, a horde of goblins or something like that. Or, it went out of my head. But something like that where you've got a lot of them and you're going to take about, 5 or 6 attacks around.
Yeah.
And, it can really shine through. Yeah.
Save your life. I think another thing that people forget about with it is traps.
Yeah.
You get hit by a spike trap. Hey, guess what? I'm reducing all that damage by 3.
Yeah.
Get hit by a log trap. I'm reducing that by 3. And again, those little by 3s may not seem like a lot, but that adds up so fast. 5 attacks has 15 HP.
Yeah.
It's a lot of difference.
It's very good.
Next up, we have Infernal Constitution, which is for tieflings or feral tieflings. Fiendish, which we don't really have feral tieflings anymore. Fiendish blood flows strong in you. Unlock a resilience akin to that possessed by some fiends. You increase your con score by 1. You have resistance to cold damage and poison damage, and you have an advantage on saving throws against being poisoned.
That's decent.
Yeah, it's okay.
And except if it didn't have the raising the Constitution score, though, I'd almost think like at 5th level as a fifth level feral, well, not feral tiefling, but 5th level tiefling or 8th level tiefling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems it could be a little bit stronger if you're going to take that in spot of a feat.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll do that. But it's not bad.
Want to play a feral tiefling they were raised by wolves? You can do that. That's true. Every single hit point counts. You could die because somebody kicked you in the shin.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely has happened to me. Inspiring Leader is next. You need a charisma of 13 or higher. I want... Chat. Those of you watching this on YouTube, I want you to think of what the Inspiring Leader feat is, and then realize how much better whatever you thought of is than what I'm about to read. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You can spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions, shoring up their resolve to fight. When you do so, choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself, within 30 feet of you who can see or hear you and who can understand you. Each creature can gain temporary hit points equal to your level plus your charisma modifier. A creature can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until it's finished a short or long rest. 10 minutes is a long time.
10 minutes is a long time. However, like I said, now there's something interesting in this because if you go, if you're the fighter, you're the leader, right? And you go, if you go, hey, I'm taking 10 minutes, and you've got a couple of good casters, there is a lot of stuff that can be done.
Oh yeah,
and you're adding your thing. It's just really a feat.
Yep. Not only that, is your party gonna wait before a fight every time for 10 minutes?
Yeah, no.
If you have a barbarian in the party, or a rogue in the party, or a paladin in the party, You have to try and swing that 10 minutes every time just to get temporary hit points. And it's only equal to your level plus your charisma mod. So at most, that's what, 25 temporary hit points?
Yeah. At most. I think it's not as a feat. I think it's a cool ability.
Yeah.
I think like a Battlemaster should get this at some point, just
I
naturally.
I agree.
And when the cleric calls up a hero's feast, you start giving your speech.
That's right.
And hey, those temporary hit points stack, so it's worth it then,
Right.
But not as a feat.
You can
not
even
as
do
a
it
feat.
every long rest when the party wakes up in the morning before they get ready to head out. The fighter is able to inspire everybody. Like, hey, it's going to be a tough day ahead, but we're going to get through this, and it's a minute pep talk. You can swing a minute pep talk.
Yeah.
You can't swing a 10-minute speech every single time.
You're standing in the dungeon. This is not that day.
That's right. We will hold the line. And then you have to cross the line to go fight, and the speech no longer matters.
Yeah.
It's such a cool idea, but it doesn't it doesn't work.
No.
Now let's talk about every DM's favorite feat. Keen mind. You have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. Increase your intelligence score by 1. You always know which way is north. You always know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. And you can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month.
Yeah. On the DM's side of this, it's got another name which will get us demonetized.
Yeah.
Look, if you take this feat, I'm handing you a notebook. Start writing.
I think anybody that's never seen what this feat can do and how annoying it can be just needs to go watch Critical Role, what is it, Campaign 2? Where Liam O'Brien plays a wizard that has this feat. Oh. And the number of times that he goes, hey, Matt, Caleb would know. What was this place called again? Hey, Matt, Caleb would know. What exact time is it right now? Hey, Matt, Caleb would know. Which way does the sun rise from this position? Hey, Caleb would know. What was that called again? And it's like, look, I don't blame the guy. He's just using his feet. I'm not mad at him. But as a DM, the number of times that my players have gone, hey, my character would remember this because of keen mind. What was the exact direction we needed to go again? It's like, well, why don't you remember?
No. What was the storekeep's helper's name 4 campaigns ago in that town?
Yeah.
4 sessions ago in that town where he stopped. There was a bumblebee.
Yeah. And to Dark's comment there, at some point Matt said he doesn't actually remember things perfectly. He remembers the gist, and it's not perfect. Yeah. And that's how you have to run it, because you can't just go, my character remembers everything perfectly. And especially, look, no offense to Kenku players, because I a very good friend of mine that's a Kenku player, and he's great. When a Kenku takes keen mind, the player goes, remember that voice that I heard a month ago? Almost a month ago? I'm going to copy it perfectly. Can you repeat what he said then? First off, I don't remember what that NPC sounded like. That NPC was not meant to be remembered past that session, other than just there was a dwarf there. And I don't remember what he said, man.
Yeah. This is one of the feats that are banned.
Yeah.
And yes, it is banned from that, because you don't automatically get an eidetic memory.
Right.
No, that is just not happen.
It's something special, this feat. And it'd be fine if you just didn't have that last part. If you always know which way is north and you always know what time it is, that'd be fine.
That'd be annoying enough, yes. I'll do that.
That is the Kenku, yes. And again, it's fine if the player's like, I'm going to copy it. But when they go, hey, DM, can you repeat it in the exact same voice that you used to say it the first time? Yeah. It's like, that was like, do you know how long ago a month was in campaign? That's like 6 weeks ago or longer. I don't remember what that NPC sounded like.
Actually, hold on. Dark, the Kenku there, it actually specializes in chains. It's a little bit different.
That's right. It's a Kenku for the bird.
Don't do that. But either one's fine.
Next up is lightly armored.
Mm-hmm.
You have trained to master the use of light armor. Increase your strength or dex by 1, and you gain proficiency with light armor. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not super useful.
Not super useful. There's not many people that are going to use this. Okay, well, a wizard.
Yeah.
A human variant wizard gets a feat at first level that just wants a little bit of help.
Yeah.
That is the perfect feat for that.
If they have keen mind, they're able to forever mimic the gist of what was said. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the point of what he was trying to say was this, and you can mimic the way he said that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Nevermore. You can remember that forever. Next up is Linguist. You have studied languages and codes. Increase your intelligence by 1. You learn 3 languages of your choice, and you can ably create written ciphers. Others can't decipher a code you create unless you teach them. They succeed on the intelligence check, which is DC equal to your intelligence score plus your prof, or they use magic to decipher it.
Right campaign, right character. This is actually really awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
Write a coded message to the king.
Yeah, wrong campaign, wrong character. This is completely worthless.
Right.
But that at least it's got some merit to it. You know, it makes sense in some ways.
I'm just saying it'd be a really fun campaign to play at some point where you're just like you're a wizard and you don't focus on casting spells and stuff. You're just a wizard because you study a lot, and you're actually just a linguist and you're trying to understand every language in the world. So like you're picking them up as you go, and you're with the party because they need somebody that can translate all this ancient stuff. And you're sort of useful, but that's really about it. But when it comes time for, hey, these people are talking and we don't know what they're saying, I'm on it. And that could be because I've started watching Stargate.
Honestly, the few times that you know, you get caught off guard on a DM when you know something the player has or does, because it changes things. You're like, hey, okay, hold on just a second. Rethink for a second. I gotta get it figured out. One of the things that's caught me as a DM or another is when the players have extra languages. Yeah. And I obviously, you know, can't keep up with everything that everybody has because they're not always using it. And it can change. It can change the scene just when play go. Oh no, wait! I speak Orcish. I have it.
I can understand what they're saying.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Context now.
Yeah.
If I ever make a wizard, I'm calling it Harry. Why not Henry? You're a wizard, Henry. Lucky is next.
Yeah.
Lucky is a great feat. Just gonna say that right now. You have inexplicable luck.
Yeah.
Inexplicable. That's how words work. Luck that seems to kick in at just the right moment. You have 3 luck points whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, saving throw. You can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend 1 of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. You can choose which of the d20s is used for the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You can also spend 1 luck point whenever an attack is made against you. Roll a d20 and then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. If more than one creature spends a luck point to influence the outcome of a roll, the points cancel each other out, no additional dice are rolled, and you regained your expended luck points when you finish a long rest.
Yeah. It's good. It's just like the regular halfling thing is good. Anything that has to do with the feat that says luck is good.
Yep. Anybody can use it. It's very, very solid. You just have to remember that you have it, because the ability to go, hey, they're trying to hit me. I'm rolling as well. We're going to take my roll. Thank you. I rolled a 4 instead of whatever they rolled.
Man, especially if you'd have had that the other night.
Yep.
Where you were rolling, buddy.
Yep. It would have been really handy. I had to borrow another player's dice because I forgot mine in the most recent session. And the dice, I rolled 4 nat 1s.
Yeah.
Within an hour and a half.
Yep, it was terrible.
Yeah, his dice did not like me. Next up is Mage Slayer.
Yeah.
You have practiced techniques useful in melee combat against spellcasters. When a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell, that creature has disadvantage on the saving throw it takes to maintain its concentration, and you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by creatures within 5 feet of you. It's a very good feat.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anything that, because it's got that concentration game between them breaking it and them holding it, going back and forth.
Yep.
That can easily turn the tide of battle.
Yep.
Depending on the spells being held.
Also, somebody in your campaign today rolled 3 8s in a row in one turn within less than 5 seconds. Wow. This is a feat that has come under some scrutiny.
Yeah.
Because teleport spells. When does the reaction go off? Because it says against that creature. So.
Well, hold on. That's just something you have to deal with. It's first in, last out.
Yep.
So if the teleport goes off, whoo.
It's a tough call, right?
Then you take your reaction, but
the spell's already been cast.
The teleporter's not there.
Right. That's the way I've always ruled it, is that unless they're using a ranged weapon, the person teleporting out has already moved.
Yeah.
And thus your melee attack can't follow them through the teleport. But it's a very good feat. It's one that I almost took on Din.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he hated magic so much.
Yeah.
But then, he got distracted from that when he became a paladin. Then he could use magic. Teleport spells. Most of them would teleport yourself and a willing creature. Why does it have to be willing? You can forcefully. I mean,
You got the higher. There's some higher level ones that you can do some kidnapping with in D&D.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to pull some powerful arcane forces to a kidnap.
Well, and we talked about Dimension Door a couple podcasts ago.
Oh yeah.
Which is one that you have to move through, like to walk through the door. You have to be willing, but it doesn't say anything about kicking somebody through. It's an open portal.
Yeah.
They have to be willing to move with you. But if you open that door underneath them, it doesn't matter if they're willing or not. They're falling in there.
Yeah.
So just something to remember. I almost grabbed the mouse again. Yeah. Magic Initiate is next. Choose a class. Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. You learn 2 cantrips of your choice from that class's spell list. In addition, choose 1 first-level spell from that same list. You learn that spell and can cast it at its lowest level. Once you cast it, you must finish a long rest, before you can cast it again using this feat. And your spell casting ability for these spells depends on the class you choose. Charisma for Bard, Sorcerer, Warlock. Wisdom for Cleric or Druid. Intelligence for Wizard.
Yeah. There's a few people I know, me included, that if it's for some reason we're picking a feat for a character, we're going to scroll across this.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally pick it, but it's always, it's one to always look at. 2 cantrips.
Yes, 2 cantrips is so good. People undervalue. We talked about this. People undervalue cantrips so much. Yeah, Dimension Door. That's how you should be using Dimension Door.
Yeah.
That, or you open the door behind them and then you kick them in Leonidas style from 300.
Well, if you were you used to you could open under them.
Yeah.
I don't know what level. Yeah. Then just drop them in.
Yep.
They may have changed that. I'll have to look at that double check, but I get real confused.
Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation is such a good cantrip. That and Druidcraft are both.
Yeah, those
incredible.
are great. Absolutely.
I would also say consider light.
Yeah.
Light is good in almost every situation.
And then, Eldritch Blast is always fun.
Yep. Eldritch Blast is great.
Because hey, when you reach 20th level, you can cantrip a 5d10, 40-10.
Mm-hmm.
40-10.
Yeah, 40-10.
Cantrip. It's pretty sick.
Again, playing a bard that can take Eldritch Blast, or a sorcerer that you take this and you take first level spell. What's it called? The lightning one. Shocking Grasp.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, now I can cast this at its highest level.
There you are.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
That is. It's one of the better feats for sure.
Martial Adept is next, which is also a very good feat.
Mm-hmm.
You have martial training that allows you to perform special combat maneuvers. You learn 2 maneuvers of your choice from among those available in the Battlemaster archetype in the fighter class. If a maneuver you use requires your target to make a saving throw to resist the maneuver's effects, the saving throw DC equals 8 plus your prof bonus plus your strength or dex mod. You gain 1 superiority die, which is a d6. This die is added to any superiority die you have from another source. This die is used to fuel your maneuvers. Superiority die is expended when you use it. You regain your expended superiority die when you finish a short or long rest.
Yeah. The thing with that is Battlemaster is kind of I would say it's a little more advanced.
Yeah.
role player. I mean, it's a good feat.
Yes.
But if you're not familiar with the Battlemaster, it's kind of a strange one to just pick up and try to jump into.
It very much is. It's one that when we talked about PHP subclasses, we put the Battlemaster as like a hard, like not expert level, but like, hey, this is not beginner friendly. You need to have played a little bit of combat beforehand because this is a lot about controlling the battlefield, which is where it really shines as a feat too. The only real negative to me is that you only get one superiority dice, and it's the only one you're going to get.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer because you have 2 maneuvers that you can play around with, but you just have 1 superiority die. But
I think there's more than one feat that could really be improved simply by going up with your proficiency bonus, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Like at least giving you a chance to get the extra later on.
It is a short or a long rest, Faith, but there's some good maneuvers.
Yeah.
Pushing is great.
Well, just the one where you can tell somebody to attack again.
Yep. Very, very good.
It's like your barbarian's taking their 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
You use your superior die, and do it again. Yeah, and they get to hit again.
Rogue got sneak attack. Hey, guess what? We're still flanking. Do it again.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a good thing. Like it's something. It's not something I would suggest for a beginner player really to keep up with.
And if you're unsure what to take the second one for, I'm just saying tripping is a very, very good maneuver.
It is.
It
is. Actually, it is.
Just trip them.
So, I like the feats where you can change type of magic spells around for the cocaine spellcaster.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look, I have no like of cocaine. I do think it's interesting the way it smells, but no.
Yeah.
Just moving on.
No, thank you. Medium Armor Master is next. This is kind of a weird feat. Proficiency with medium armor required. You practice moving in medium armor to gain the following benefits. Wearing medium armor doesn't impose disadvantage on your dex checks, which is nice.
That's nice.
Not a huge thing,
no.
But nice. Because most classes that are wearing medium armor already have pretty decent stealth.
Mm-hmm.
When you wear medium armor, you can add 3 rather than 2 to your AC if you have a dexterity of 16 or higher. Cool.
Yeah. Don't really see the. It's okay. It doesn't like heavy armor master is easy to see what it does and how that can benefit over the long run. But this just kind of does nothing for me, sir. Does nothing for me. I don't like it.
I could see a character it would help, but I would also rather just take tough on that character. To me.
Yeah, you could Dark if especially with the new rules in a way.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of switch stuff around. And Tasha's pretty much would allow you to kind of do that.
Yeah.
And still be legal, so to speak.
For sure. Look, all I'm saying is if you're playing a fighter and you're stealthing, you're playing a very different fighter from the way I ever would play a fighter. I'm putting that fighter in heavy armor and we're going in.
Which is why Arcane Archer is a ranger subclass.
I agree.
Sorry. It's a point of contention with me.
I agree.
All right.
Next up is Metamagic Adapt. Orcs do for sure. Warforged do as well, I believe. Relentless Endurance is the orc racial trait.
God. Yeah, Relentless Endurance is 6. Good things. Good stuff.
Saved my life. Metamagic Adept is next. You have to be a spellcaster or have Pact Magic already to be able to take it. You learned how to exert your will, retake, on your spells to alter how they function. You learn 2 metamagic options of your choice from the sorcerer class. You can only use 1 metamagic option on a spell when you cast it, unless the option says otherwise. Whenever you reach a level that grants the ability score improvement feature, you can replace one of these metamagic options with another one from the sorcerer class. You gain 2 sorc points to spend on metamagic. These points are added to any sorc points you have from any other source, but can only be used on metamagic. You regain all spent sorc points when you finish a long rest. This feat's cool, but it has the same problem.
Yes. Yeah.
I only ever get 2 sorc points.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. Other than that would be, if you get that at low level, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But once you get to like 6th, maybe 8th level, it's going to be frustrating is what it's going to be.
Don't get me wrong. If you're a sorcerer, this is actually not a bad feat to take as a sorcerer because you just gain 2 more sorc points that you can play around with, and you gain 2 more metamagic options. You just get those for free.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good feat if you're going to play a sorcerer, but that's about it.
Yeah. If it gave you more sorc points at some point,
yeah,
it would be definitely worth getting.
Yeah. Next up is mobile, which is a very good feat.
Especially for the shorter classes.
Yep.
Shorter races, excuse me.
You are exceptionally speedy and agile. Your speed increases by 10 feet. When you use the dash action, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement on that turn. And when you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of the turn, whether you hit or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
It is. It is. This is a feat that I've seen people wait on.
Yeah.
And then when they get it, the way they play their character changes.
Yes.
It's really it's that good.
If you are playing a short race that has below 30 movement, I think this feat is almost a requirement as soon as you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because so much of 5e is built around that base 30 that if you don't have it, you are just lagging behind, you know?
Well, when you and if you're let's say a monk or a class that does or something that has high movement and you get the extra 10 feet and you no longer have to worry about opportunity attacks.
Yeah, you just go in.
You go in, smack that one, and that one. You know, it's a very, very powerful feat.
It's also very good for your less movement heavy classes, like a barbarian.
Yeah,
you get this just for the provoking of opportunity attacks. You dash in one turn, next turn you just move through, dervishing almost. You know.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about getting smacked, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's very, very good.
It is. It's a very good feat. It's what a feat should be.
Speaking of very good feats, this is not one of them. Moderately armored. You got to be proficient with light armor. You have trained to master the use of medium armor and shields. You can increase your strength or dex by 1, and you gain proficiency with medium armor and shields. And that may sound incredible.
It's not really, no.
If you're going to be using shields, you're probably already proficient with them. First off.
Well, I mean, think of who this feat could possibly benefit.
A wizard, I guess?
Right. Okay. And then, but they're not going to benefit from the dex +1.
Nope.
You know, that's not going to do them any good.
Nope.
So, well, maybe, saving throws.
Unless they turn that shield into an arcane focus, it's just going to get in the way, too.
Yeah. And they probably have better defense in other ways, either through, stone skin, something to that effect.
Yep.
The
shield spell.
Yeah. Shield spell is amazing, or even an, a magic item at some point.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's just not.
It's not that great.
No.
Does true polymorph allow you to go from one kind of spellcaster to another? Technically, I guess it could. But it wouldn't change your spell list.
Yeah, it'd be kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
But also you have problems there where you true polymorph. Well, see, you don't true polymorph your class.
Right.
You true polymorph your race.
So you would have to true polymorph to a race that can only use that class's type of magic.
Yeah, now if they have innate magic, you definitely get that added on with the magic you had. But it's like if you do the simulacrum trick with the gold dragon, you will be a gold dragon. You will have that gold dragon's spell list, but that's a little bit different because those are all innate to the gold dragon. It's not a class that the gold dragon has.
Next up is Mounted Combatant, and I wish this feat was better because I love the idea of this feat so much.
Yeah.
You're dangerous foe to face while mounted. While you're mounted and aren't incapacitated, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on melee attack rolls against any unmounted creature that's smaller than your mount. You can force an attack targeted at your mount to target you instead. And if your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dex saving throw to take only half damage, and instead takes no damage if it succeeds, and only half damage if it fails.
A few problems I have with this one. One is if you're riding a mount, you have a class. That's part of your class.
Yep.
So the damage thing should be part of that.
I agree. You shouldn't have to take a feat for that.
And two, mounted combat is not good in 5e. Honestly, It's hard to run as a DM.
It is. What size do you count for in movement? What size do you count for in squares?
Yeah.
How I can't take my mount into this dungeon because I can't get it through the door.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna need it in the hallways down there. So what do?
Yeah. Well, not like that. Even if you're laying out minis, you go, okay, you've got 30 movement feet. You've got 30. You've got, if you dash, you got 120.
Right.
It's just 5e is not in depth enough, I don't think, to make mounted combat really, really feasible.
Right.
It's one of those things. I guess everybody, the enemies included, needs to be on a mount.
Right.
To make it, work really.
Reduce would be really cool to use there for your mount. Keep it in your pocket. Yeah. But the real answer is just be able to summon a steed. You take this as a paladin and be able to summon a steed, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. No, it's a trick. The gold. Okay. So what you do is you true polymorph yourself into an ancient gold dragon, and at that point you're an ancient gold dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody casts Dispel, you go back to yourself.
Right.
So at that point you cast Simulacrum while you're a gold dragon, and that will make a gold dragon body basically without a soul.
Right.
Then you kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul leaves your body and goes into this one that you've had saved, and now you are a gold dragon, and they can dispel all they want to, but you're still going to be an ancient gold dragon.
Right.
Those are it's a high level spells to do it, but
you can do
true
it.
polymorph human or back, and then you would almost have to do. I guess you could get back true polymorph yourself back to
human
form,
and then cast it again to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go back and forth.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of busy work, but
yeah, that's just the way I like it.
Yeah. Next up is Observant. Quick to notice details of your environment. You gain the following benefits. Increase your intelligence or wisdom by 1. If you can see a creature's mouth while it's speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. And you have a +5 to your passive wisdom perception and passive intelligence investigation scores.
That one's actually pretty good. That one actually comes into play quite a bit, especially if you're rather perceptive in the first place.
Yeah.
And you get that +5 on top. Once again, back to our campaign, if somebody's got a really, really high passive, and honestly, by rules as written, it's going to take a super powerful wizard to hide something from him.
Yeah.
Onto that, which is from a DM's point, it's kind of interesting. Not having everybody roll and stuff. Just hey, when you walk in, you see this. Yeah.
Right.
It's a little bit different.
There's that thing that happens anytime that you go to have somebody roll for perception, where it's like yours is probably high enough that you might notice something. Roll perception for me, and everybody goes, "Oh, let me roll too." Like, well, your character would not have noticed that.
Yeah.
But you're already rolling, so I guess
No, because you have to be in the gold dragon form to cast those spells. Now, since it's the spells that you would take the spells that with you to the gold dragon form.
Yeah,
you would, because you have learned those. But when you move out of the gold dragon form, you wouldn't, because those are innate to the gold. You're not casting those as a learned spell.
Right.
You're counting there from the blood of the dragon, or however you'd like to see it. But it's so it's different.
From the magic that flows within that form's veins.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Orcish Fury is next. You can be a half-orc for this.
Yep.
Your inner fury burns tirelessly. Increase your strength or con score by 1. When you hit with an attack using a simple or martial weapon, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice an additional time and add it as extra damage of the weapon's damage type. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. And immediately after you use your relentless endurance, you can use your reaction to make one weapon attack.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
That's just very good. Just an extra whap.
Yep.
The reaction. So that's once a turn. Once a turn, you're pulling. And I can't think of much else that a half-orc's going to use their reaction for.
Yeah.
Not a lot of half-orc casters out there with shield,
Well, it is only once or short or long rest, not once a turn. Once a turn would be good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got off with the using your reaction.
Right.
Because you can use your reaction once a turn. Dang it.
It would be better if it was once a turn.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty sick. Never mind.
Still, if you're a half-orc, you should probably take it anyway.
Now, the clone will be of you as exactly as you are at that moment.
Yeah.
It's exact replica of you as you are.
Next up is Piercer. You've achieved a You've achieved a penetrating precision in combat. Increase your strength or dex by 1. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals piercing damage, you can reroll one of the attack's damage dice, and you must use the new roll.
Yeah.
When you score a crit that deals piercing damage to a creature, you can roll one additional damage die when determining the extra piercing damage the target takes.
Yes, which is the way we do critical rolls. The way we do crits, where you roll and double, do that really makes that powerful through that. Yeah. If the spear was a better... if they had a full size, like a spear was a better weapon in D&D, that would just be
take this
sick.
and mounted combatant. If Cavalier was actually like a full class, you'd be great.
Yeah, you would. Yes.
I'm letting you field these from now on.
The questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we'll read through this. If you turn into a dragon, you'd still be a young dragon by age. Well, it's by. Yes, they talk about age, but technically that's going to be a separate use. Technically, that's by class. Is what you'll be dividing up.
Yeah.
Because there's a long range over there.
It's a good question, though.
Now, if you cloned as a gold dragon, you would clone to a gold dragon. You wouldn't clone back to a human.
Right.
Once you've done everything, you're a gold dragon. So unless you true polymorph and then do simulacrum again, and it
and then die again.
Yeah, and do the whole thing.
It's a whole rigmarole. Next up is Poisoner. You can create or prepare and deliver deadly poisons. When you make a damage roll that deals poison damage, it ignores resistance to poison. When you can apply poison to a weapon or piece of ammunition as a bonus action instead of an action, and you gain proficiency with a Poisoner's Kit if you don't already have it. With 1 hour of work using a Poisoner's Kit and expending 50 GP worth of materials, you can create a number of doses of potent poison equal to your proficiency bonus. Once applied to a weapon or piece of ammunition, the poison retains its potency for 1 minute or until you hit with the weapon or ammunition. When a creature takes damage from the coated weapon or ammunition, the creature must succeed on a DC 14 con save or take 2d8 poison damage and become poisoned until the end of your next turn.
This is not. But once again, I think this was very situational, and but I think I think there could be some really cool story points in this, in like a character taking this feat.
I agree.
Yeah, but this is not at all a bad feat.
I guess you wouldn't want to do that with poison. You want to drop it on the blade. Yeah. I mean, you might be immune. What do I know? You might be playing a Dark Mind from 4th edition.
What you do not smell is iocane powder.
That's right. The cup closest to me. Polearm Master's next.
Oh, that's a good one.
You can keep your enemies at bay with reach weapons. When you make the attack action and attack with only a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, or spear, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. The attack uses the same ability modifier as the primary attack. The weapon's damage die for the attack is a d4, and it deals bludgeoning damage. While you're wielding a glaive, halberd, pike, quarterstaff, or spear, other creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they enter your reach. Every
extra
time.
D4, yeah, and it takes the bonus of the weapon. If you've got a +5 glaive, you get a +5 on that whack on the end over there.
Very nice, and adds up quick.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, you can attack 4 times. That means you also get to do this 4 times.
And going through, and let's say you have that
action surge.
Hey, let's say you have that in Poisoner.
Yep.
The one we just talked about before. Now poison's great and terrible in D&D.
Yeah.
It's great as long as nothing's resistance to it. Later on, just about everything's resistance to it.
Yep. Just like fire.
But a low mid-game, poison can be pretty devastating in D&D.
Yeah, if you're using any kind of weapon that qualifies for Polearm Master and you don't take Polearm Master, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
This one's a weird one. Prodigy. You have to be half orc, half elf, or human. You have a knack for learning new things. You gain 1 skill proficiency of your choice, 1 tool proficiency of your choice, and fluency in 1 language of your choice. And you choose 1 skill in which you have proficiency. You gain expertise with that skill, which means your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability checks you make with it. The skill you choose must be one that isn't already benefiting from a feature such as expertise that doubles your proficiency bonus. It's cool.
Well, here's the thing. In the right campaign, once again,
great.
As it goes, well, the right campaign, you damn near break the campaign with that. But it's one of those things that it may never come up, really. But expertise is always nice, though. But like I said, I don't know if Feats worth it.
It comes from being human, apparently, because it's the half elf and half orc, the human side of it that gives prodigy. that humans are just faster at learning things in D&D, I guess.
Yeah, because also one of the most short-lived races.
Yeah.
So they
pick things up fast, but they die fast too.
Yes.
And realistically, everything dies fast when you think about it. It's just some of them die a little bit more slowly.
And here's something else about that, Dark. There was a balance of. There was a balance, or there wasn't a balance. There was I can't remember what book it is right now that put out racial feats that cover certain things, and they had to have some kind of balance out. And man, compared to what some of the others get, racial-wise, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but it's good. It might have its uses, but overall, it's not. Yeah.
Variant human gets an extra feat too, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna live long, but you know. Yeah. Resilient is next. Choose one ability score. You increase the chosen ability score by 1, and you gain proficiency to saving throws using that ability.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. That's another one, though, like where if you're in a certain environment and you keep having to face a certain check, right, we level.
Using fireball. I'm taking dex.
We leveled, huh? Here's my resistance.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice feat. A useful feat.
Next up is an elf feat, Revenant Blade. You're descended from a master of the double-bladed scimitar, and some of that mastery is passed on to you. Increase your dex or strength score by 1. While you're holding a double-bladed scimitar with 2 hands, you gain a +1 bonus to armor class, and a double-bladed scimitar has the finesse property when you wield it.
That's the right character. That little end part right there makes a lot of difference.
It sure does.
And that's a good feat for a melee elf.
This is like a lore feat for
really
Eberron.
It is. Yeah.
And it's really weird in a lot of ways, but also, like, if you're familiar with Eberron, it makes sense. I kind of wish it wasn't restricted.
Yeah.
But also, from a lore perspective, it does make sense.
Yeah, but outside of that lore, I don't think it needs to be restricted necessarily.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would allow somebody to take this that's not an elf.
Yeah. As long as they're using it. I like it restricted to the weapon.
Yeah, you have to use a double-bladed saber.
It's a unique weapon, but...
Next up is Ritual Caster, which is a very cool feat.
Yes, it is.
You have to have an intelligence or wisdom of 13 or higher, but you've learned a number of spells that you can cast as rituals. These spells are written in a ritual book, which you must have in hand while casting them. When you choose this feat, you acquire a ritual book holding 2 first-level spells of your choice. Choose one of the following classes: Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. You must choose your spells from that class's spell list, and the spells you choose must have the ritual tag. The class you choose also determines your spellcasting ability for these spells: Charisma for Bard, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wisdom for Cleric, Druid, Intelligence for Wizard. If you come across a spell in written form, such as a magical spell scroll or a wizard's spell book, you might be able to add it to your ritual book. The spell must be on the spell list for the class you chose. The spell's level can be no higher than half your level, rounded up, and it must have the ritual tag. The process of copying the spell into your ritual book takes 2 hours per level of the spell and costs 50 GP per level. The cost represents material components you expend as you experiment with the spell to master it, as well as the fine inks you need to record it.
There's a lot to say for a feat.
It is.
But it's a very good feat.
My current character has been saving up spells until I can take this feat so that I can have them forever.
Yeah. It's just one in a role play aspect. This is a really cool feat. You have it even for a full caster. It's like, hey, look, I'm a cleric, but I know some of these spells that may come through, or just add more to it. Or once again, this is where the magic comes from in the group. Yeah. You have a martial melee group, and one of them picks up Ritual Caster.
Yep.
Starts putting this stuff together. It's really cool. Allows like some step away to do some cool things with your class. To step outside your class and be able to do some cool things with it.
Absolutely.
Both on a story level as well as a mechanic level.
This next one's a lot shorter in comparison. Savage Attacker. Once per turn, when you roll damage for a melee weapon attack, you can re-roll the weapon's damage dice and use either total.
Yep. That's just nice.
Spellcaster eventually learn to cast literally all the spells. That is definitely not in 5e. That's the thing that I think would be really cool, to be able to become like a great mage or an archmage or something. Be able to use all forms of magic.
Yeah, they kind of they cap out at 20.
Yeah.
Officially, which is weird. Anyway.
Savage Attacker's cool.
It is. It's a really good feat.
Bam. Next up is Second Chance, which is halfling exclusive. Fortune favors you when someone tries to strike you. Increase your dex, con, or charisma score by 1. When a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to force that creature to reroll. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you roll initiative at the start of combat or until you finish a short or long rest.
Okay.
Yep.
There it is.
It's nice. Lucky can do that too, but you know, hey.
Yeah.
Why not? Next up is Sentinel, one of the best feats in the game.
Yeah.
You've mastered techniques to take advantage of every drop into any enemy's guard. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. That is the best part of this feat, and it only has more.
Yeah.
Creatures provoke opportunity attacks from you, even if they take the disengage action before leaving your reach. And when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, and the target doesn't have this feat, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature. Or you were trying to hit him, bam!
Bam. Yeah, this one gets... One, it's just good, right? Mm-hmm. That's why it gets picked a lot through that. And yeah, I've seen this go off and do... add quite a bit of damage kind of around... not just on the main, just not on the one they were on. They actually spread their damage around. I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's a Polar Master Sentinel or
we have 18 more.
18 more?
18 more.
Well, we'd probably do the first half of the next show with these 18.
I think so.
And go into a couple other things after that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe we'll do boons. There's not many boons, so maybe I'll do the first half of feet and do the boons at the end of that.
That sounds good to me.
For the next,
we'll be starting next time with Shadow Touched.
All right, Dark, you got to go. Wait,
Definitely
because my views are about to do. I have you guys play in the background. We'll talk when I can. All right, well, we're about to get off.
Yeah, definitely understand.
Absolutely understand that. Get your work done, girl.
As always, thanks everybody for coming out. Hope you've enjoyed hearing us talk about Feats. I didn't even notice what time it was until I looked over and went, oh, yeah. We're normally like hat off, coffee done, relaxing by this time. Hat off, coffee done.
Hat off, coffee done.
I have a transformation now, too, for the post show.
Oh.
So I'll put my glasses back on so I can actually see things. I would wager most people that watch the podcast don't even know I have glasses and wear them 90% of my life.
But maybe not. I don't know. I don't think they catch you much.
Well, I
just
take
Clark
them off
Kent.
Because of the glare.
Yeah.
I can see what's in front of me. I just have no depth perception without them. But
it makes a nice shinies off the lights.
Yeah. It's always fun sitting on the couch here with a Rungren because without my glasses, I have no depth perception. So I have no idea how far away he is. So he's just, that's why I don't ever reach over here because I don't want to hit him. But get tinted ones. Oh, that's not a bad idea.
It's not.
Tinted ones. And then I would look. Then I could come in and sing, wear my sunglasses at night. Because I can, because I can.
Well, now you can't have them.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, no.
Every week we get copyright struck. Every week.
Awful.
Monocular depth perception. So it took me a second. My depth perception's okay. I see he's over there, but it's this eye that's busted. So since he's on that side, I can't tell how far away he is. I'm gonna reach back. He's somewhere within the range of this arm, and that's all that I know. Okay. But on this side, I can see the difference for everything. I only walk into a couple doors without my glasses.
Yeah. We walked into a door, all right? No more other questions, huh? Walked into a door. I'm going to keep it with that.
The time or the place for the story, but it's actually a really funny story how I lost. It's not funny, I guess, how I lost the depth perception of that eye. I was at a birthday party for my grandmother. She had just turned 50, and it was at the local fire department for some reason. And I guess it's what they rented out. We weren't supposed to play on the fire engines, but I climbed up on the water reservoir truck that had just been filled and got on the very top where it was still wet and slipped and fell 12 foot onto concrete.
Yeah.
Probably should have died. Busted my head open, was rushed to the hospital, and destroyed my left eye and my nose. But, weird thing, after getting the you-know-what and twice and getting better, I can actually kind of smell things again now. So that's really strange and says a lot about...
There was a thing about... people getting that back through a certain aromatherapy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it stimulated the the nostril sensors.
Oh, okay. There's a Pokemon move that does that too, called Extra Sensory.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it does like weird things to the Pokemon, but it's just because they put something under their nose.
Okay, then.
You know, we're at that weird part of the show where it's at the post show.
Yeah. I just wonder if they like the way it smells.
Right. They do this. So. Legally blind, no normal depth perception, develop monocular depreciation. Nice. Not nice for the but nice that you did develop a way around it. I won't lie, it absolutely stops me when I'm not wearing my glasses, which is why I wear them most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
fair enough.
You know.
Fair enough. So, fair enough.
Where's the feat for that? The depth perception feat. Hey, look, I'm just saying, a lot of characters wind up losing eyes or ears or something, you know? You have a feat that lets them call it like hobbled or bent but not broken.
You know what?
Or
That
something
should
like
be a thing when the character walks up to the edge of a cliff and goes, "How far down is it?" I don't know. How far down is it? Will a 50-foot rope get to the bottom? I don't know. Are you good at measuring that sort of thing with your eyes?
Why don't you roll me a d20 and let's see. The one that helps your hearing? Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I have that one in real life. But yeah, this has been a show. We'll be back Tuesday.
We'll call it that.
Like MacGyver. That's very true. He was deaf in one ear. We'll be back Tuesday with another episode of the regular podcast. We already have some news hitting the docket that I refuse to spoil for you here, but what the heck is that movie is all I'm going to say. So we're going to have some stuff to talk about. But yeah, we'll be back. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks.
Yeah,
but
appreciate it.
You got anything you want to say before we go?
Nah, just appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I got my song about Sunday at 3. There'll be a new song out Sunday at 3 on Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Wait until Tuesday. They didn't get the chance to tell me about all the creatures. Come try to eat me. I jumped off walls because someone said I would survive. Oh. Well, mistakes were made. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
We've been the Full Spectrum D&D podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that D&D has to offer. I think it stopped, but it doesn't.
No, it says stop streaming. We're streaming still.
I clicked it, though.